Hi, welcome. My name is Lesley Donaldson. Many people know me with ITR Polygraph, but this is my personal blog, and on our YouTube channel, you can find them all at ITR Polygraph. So just hit videos and they all come up if you'd like to back up and follow along. But today I am going to pick up from where we left off last week, and I have changed the name. We have moved from How I Choose to Live My Life through the Rumor Has It series. That was very hard for me to talk about in the segments that I was. I will revisit some of those things, because if you were to go back and see what I said last week, I would appreciate that, and I hope it is helpful for you. But I did have a lot of friends and a lot of viewers actually say to me, but what did happen? What happened? You just kind of skimmed over from 2007 to 2019. Why and what happened there? I did let a few people know through private messaging that, of course, if you were to Google my name, Lesley Donaldson, or you Google Irene Telfer, or you Google Sandy Bibby, that information is there. But in part of me sharing the rest of my story today, that is my story of hope and courage and inspiration for many people, women in general though today. I really want to speak to women today. But also the people who love those women and the family and friends of those women. But what I need to do is kind of back up so that you understand where I'm coming from. I'm going to kind of summarize it. My dad, he very shortly after finding or being with Irene Telfer, for the first time ever, he went away to Mexico and New Year's. And he died in Puerto Morales, Mexico, January 5th, 2007. Sadly, nobody investigated that. What happened from there, from 2007 to 2013, is something I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy, including all the professionals who looked after that. We had and this is probably going to be more of a bit of a Google review right now, because if you are a professional, as we are, Google reviews are huge. My Google review of the estate lawyer, estate executor, and my lawyer, I would have one word and one word only. Judas. Betrayal beyond belief. That is my Google review. And that is one of the reasons why I'm going to skip over that. Because my grief, my pain, my brokenness in losing my mom and losing my dad, and everything that happened with the estate, with zero investigation into my father's suspicious drowning in Puerto Morales, Mexico, 2007, January 5th. If you were there in Puerto Morales, Mexico, and have any information about what happened, I would really like to hear that. Please private message me. I wish I had this venue during the time that this happened in 2007, 2006 and 2007. But I was kind of slow on the technology, and I really didn't know that. But sadly, the professionals around me knew. And my grief, weakness, but most of all, do you know what was used against me most? My faith. My faith in God, my faith in Jesus. I was manipulated, I was gaslighted, and here's the thing. I think one of the worst things for Ken and I was to find out how absolutely horribly we had been used and manipulated and robbed, quite frankly, of everything, of our entire life and future that my parents had worked so hard for. So, that's all I have to say. There is not one professional that was assigned to the estate or assigned as my lawyer that did any good whatsoever. In fact, I was asked what was going on, and the issue is I did complain. I did complain to the Law Society. I did complain to the Chartered Accountants Association and everything. They didn't say that I didn't have a case. What was hard for Ken and I to understand is our statute of limitations ran out. You're just too late to figure out how screwed over you were. And I'm trying to use language today that is not too over the top, but I have to tell you, this is part of the reason why I have to skim over it, is because it gets me very anxious and it gets me very upset. But guess what else was used against me? That. Because my mom passed away of breast cancer, I had a lot of people, including especially my counsel, would say to me, well, what would Jesus want you to do? What would your parents want you to do? After I'd already paid him. And I looked at the documents today, well over $250,000 between 2007, 2008, and 2009. The estate wasn't resolved until 2013 when he encouraged me to do so. And this is my review, and this is my opinion, and this is my complaint. So I stand by it 100%. But what happened was that money resulted in nothing. There had been 22 issues ordered for trial for the executor that were resolved. Irene Telfer was ordered to stand trial for what happened with my dad and her involvement with that. That was resolved. Not one day did I go to trial. It was all resolved. And a lot of it had to do with massive manipulation and gaslighting. And that is what I had in my complaints. Only, I'm too late. That's a real hard pill for us to swallow. It's one of the reasons why I don't want to talk about it much. Because there is a silver lining here. And I really needed to learn how to trust in God and not man. I put all my trust in my counsel. And my counsel knew that. And my counsel knew how broken I was and was easily manipulated. I'm stronger today. But I also want to let you know something. In January of 2013, Ken and I and our family went to Cancun, Mexico. And we went there as a family to say goodbye to my dad. To make amends. To make amends with Mexico and everything. It was not the fault of Mexico that my father's dead. I hold somebody else responsible for that. But that's not for me to judge right now. I had my time. I think what I think, and that's that. But what happened during that time when we were in Mexico, Ken and I were at a resort. And I want to tell you how God used this and spoke to my heart about a lot of things. And I really had to trust in the Lord. Ken and I were in an elevator and we were going up to our hotel room. And there was this woman in the elevator with us. And she had on a stocking, a really tight stocking, all the way up her arm. And I said, "Oh dear, what happened to you? Did you hurt your arm?" And she said, "No, I didn't hurt my arm. I don't have any lymph nodes. And my arm is sore." I knew what that meant, but I asked her what happened anyway. She was telling me that she had had cysts in her breasts and now she has breast cancer. The conversation kind of went on, but for me, it kind of stopped at that. All I could hear was, I have cysts and I have breast cancer. And it just took me directly back to my mom, but also to my own mammograms. I had had very lumpy breasts. And I knew that when I get back from Mexico, I needed to go for my mammogram was scheduled. And for some reason, I don't even know, it's God, but this is what happened. The elevator opened up, she got out, the elevator closed, and I said to Ken, Ken, I have a mammogram scheduled when I get home. If my mammogram goes sideways, I just want to tell you right now, I'm gonna make the choice to remove my breasts. And it was shocking. And he's like, oh, no, I'm sure everything's fine and we don't have to be so drastic. And I said, no, I'm dead serious. And here's the thing. I had had so much stress from 2004 when my mom died, then with my dad's girlfriend. Then my father dies a horrible, suspicious, unresolved, quite frankly, death in Mexico. Everything goes horribly wrong with the estate and all the professionals involved. And that is what I'm talking about that's down at the courthouse. That's exactly that. I'm not telling tales out of school. This is exactly what happened, and I stand by it. It's 100% the truth, and that's what this binder is, 100% the truth. Nobody knows me as a liar. But then what happened is, I do go for my mammogram. And if anybody, and this is the part I want to speak to the women about, you go for your mammogram and you sit in the room and you have to wait there, but you stay waiting and everybody else goes, and you stay waiting and everybody else goes. And now they come and they tell you need a ultrasound. Okay. So they ultrasound the one breast, and then I had to sit some more. Then they said, we need to ultrasound the other breast too. So nobody's talking to me, and then the doctor comes in and he says, oh, Lesley, I think we need to have you come back in 6 months. We need to redo your ultrasound. And I said, no. I have a husband and 4 children. That's all that could go through my head. I have a husband and 4 children. I have a husband and 4 children. Because, and even up to this point, from 2007 to 2013, I saw a clinical psychologist on a regular basis. I had PTSD. I was incredibly depressed. I suffered massive grief. And I've been completely betrayed. And now I'm facing, I said, in 6 months, if I come back in 6 months, can you tell me I won't have breast cancer? And the doctor said, no, I can't tell you that. And I said, then I don't care how crazy you think I am, and I don't care what my file says. I don't care about anything. You write in that right now that I want my breasts off now, within 6 months. They said, oh, that's not what I'm saying. I said, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to come back in 6 months and hope for the best and fight for my life like I saw my mom do. By the end of the day, my doctor phoned me, my doctor who was my mom's doctor too, and she called me and she said, Lesley, I've seen the file. I've seen your mammogram today. I've seen your ultrasounds. I saw your request. Your request has been granted, Lesley. Pick your day. So now I've chosen to take my breasts off. And then that is also used against me. Let everything go. Let it all go. Your health and everything is too important. Let it all go. So I did. At the advice of my lawyer, I did. And I've never looked back at the surgery I chose. May 16th, 2013, I chose to have a double mastectomy. I've never been reconstructed. What I wear is a prosthesis. Another time I'll share something a little funny with you about that, but I just want to tell you this. Whatever was meant to kill me and harm me and crush me is the enemy of my soul. There is a God, and his son's name is Jesus, and I love him. And here's the thing. That faith was used against me. But in the end, that faith is what got me through. Courage and determination and peace. And I have never looked back. I don't miss them. Sadly, I think my husband does. That's the truth. Because he's my husband. And he loves me. He loves me regardless. But let's face it, right? We love how each other looks. We're partners. But I want to give you some hope today. I thank you so much for tuning in. And I want to read you from Jesus Calling, what was said and put on my heart on May 16th, 2013. And this is what I want to end with here today, because no matter what happened, no matter who did what to me, I chose to have that removed. I've never looked back, and I'm healthy today. And I thank you so much. Please listen to what this says. On May 16th, Jesus Calling, I am your Lord. Seek me as friend and lover of your soul, but remember that I am also King of Kings, sovereign over all. You can make some plans as you gaze into the day that stretches out before you, but you need to hold those plans tentatively, anticipating that I may have other ideas. The most important thing to determine is what to do right now. Instead of scanning the horizon of your life, looking for things that need to be done, concentrate on the task before you and the one who never leaves your side. Let everything else fade into the background. This will unclutter your mind, allowing me to occupy more and more of your consciousness. Trust me to show you what to do when you have finished what you're doing now. I will guide you step by step as you bend your will to mine. Thus you stay close to me on the path of peace. This is Proverbs 19:21, Luke 1:79. I just want to leave you with that, and I'm going to leave you where you picked up from, because my journey took a really huge, great turn. Thank you so much. Bye now.